Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, and it's another winger stream where we're talking about brand new wingers. You guys can see from the title. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, and big up to today's sponsor, the guys at Boohoo Man are sponsored today's stream, so you want to get some drip from there. Use the link in the pinned comment and description. Use code CityXtra for an extra discount there. Help support the channel. Get yourself some new clothes on that. Worldwide company. Not just based in the UK, so go check it out. But yeah, 2 days ago, I said on the stream, I said we're going to start hearing within 48 hours names of new wingers. Yesterday we had Dani Olmo. Today, new name Raphinha of Barcelona, right winger, left-footed. Previously played for Leeds in the Premier League. Played for Barcelona. Bray, I'll come to you first. What are you saying? You gassed for Raphinha ball or not?
Gas doesn't seem like the right word, isn't it? Like, I don't know why. I'd take it is more of what I'd say. I'd take it. Do you know what I mean? So if Mahrez goes, we need a winger in there, and if Raphinha is available, I think he'd be available at an all right price. I reckon I'd take it. Gas definitely isn't the right word, I don't think. I actually mentioned Raphinha a few weeks ago when we was all on a stream then. And I think the consensus between us all then it's a no. Consensus then was, nah, let's not go for Raphinha or even talk about him. And then in a couple of weeks, we're actually interested in him. So yeah, it's a bit weird, man. I just don't know. It doesn't really like. It's not a sign I get gas for, but I think he could do well.
Yeah, I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't think we're going to sign a winger that's going to get many people like properly excited.
Yeah,
I think we're going to go for this type of Dani Olmo, Raphinha. Like, we're not going to get like a Leroy Sané or like a Vinicius Junior type player where they're like sprinting and like they're doing mad, like getting little bear goals. I think we're going to get a more tidy, conservative type of player. And to be fair, you know, you look at Raphinha, and he does fit the Mahrez bill.
Yeah,
it would kind of be a like for like replacement in many.
And he's fast. He's rapid, Raphinha. So, yeah. I mean, that's an extra thing. Do you know what I mean? People want pacey wingers, but if he's got that little bit about him. What are you saying, Hugh? Are you sitting all down there quiet and that? What are you saying?
Because he loves him. He's like, boys, I got a confession to make. I've already got a Raphinha Manchester City shirt.
Just to follow on from the video this morning, he's better than Salah. Obviously, we got a little bit of heat. we got a bit of heat. We got a bit of heat for that, LB. I saw the comments. We got a bit of heat. But with Raphinha, I like him. He went.
Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's like, I like him.
The thing is with Raphinha is I think he made a massive mistake going to Barcelona. I think there was a period in time there where anybody going to Barcelona, it was kind of hard to see them doing very well. He only got like 7-8 goals this season in La Liga, and you contrast that with his last season in the Premier League, which I think he got like 17 or 18. Like, he was one of the best players in the Premier League in his last year in with Leeds anyway. Like, he cooked. So I'm kind of thinking if you bring him back to the Premier League, throw him into our team, it could work. But I don't know. I've got this thing in my head. I just can't imagine him in a Man City shirt. I just can't imagine. He doesn't look like a City player to me. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm indifferent.
I mean, look at the stats. So this year he got 7 and 7 in 2,000 minutes. That's actually not too bad numbers. That's actually pretty good numbers considering the game on the pitch. The year before, 14 in 3,000. That's not the best, but you know, he did play for Leeds. You know, he's not going to be scoring goals and getting bare assists. The year before that, again, 6 and 9, decent numbers in 2,300 minutes. That's not a real bad return. And before that, he ain't really going to look about anything before that. I'm just looking at the last 3 years. He's only 26 years old, so there's still development there. And as I said earlier, like, he's a right-footed player. He's a left-footed player on the right, so he can sort of come in and just do the Mahrez job. It's whether or not do you think he's good enough, or do you think there's better value? Because I also don't think this guy's going to be very cheap. I don't think he's going to be very cheap. I think he's going to cost. What did Barcelona pay for him?
Did they
How
pay
long-
60
How long's his
mil?
contract? How long's he got left in his deal?
58 million euros they paid for him, and he's contracted until 27. Oh, these adverts are so nice. 2027. He's contracted until 2027, and they paid 60 million euros. I don't think they'll let him go for cheaper than that. So I think you're gonna have to pay. You know,
I think you'll have to pay what they paid. I reckon if they got the money back for him, I think they'd be happy with that.
That's about £50 million, £51 million. But that's it's not the worst value in the world.
Yes, it's not. Listen, like I say, I don't think anyone's going to get properly gassed from this signing because it's not going to be one of them. It's not going to be one of them wingers, a proper exciting winger. It's going to be one of these like bit slower type of wingers. I think that's how. But in terms of them, like I think he's a good player. I think he'd do all right. I think he'd do all right, but. It's just whether or not he's actually going to come in. Big up Mohamed says he has 8 goals in 45 games. Yeah, I know you say it like that though, Mohamed, but if you look at his league goals and assists, it ain't too bad, man. Amar says better than Leroy, that's for sure. I don't know if he's better than Leroy. Different players, to be honest, Amar. And Haaland says sign Salah so he doesn't score against us. Yeah, that'll be a lot more than 50 million quid. And big up Simon with a member chat says, I would prefer Cole Palmer to all the links that I've heard so far. And Erkan says, I've got personal reasons as to why I wanted to sign him. Discovered him on FIFA 17 before he went to Sporting, so I'd be delighted.
Man scouted him.
That's enough for me, man. That's enough for me. Get him in.
Get him in. He's in.
Yeah, I think Cole Palmer will be got on loan. But look, listen, Raphinha's an interesting player. Like I said, I do think he could come in there, and I don't think he'd find it too difficult. He played under Bielsa at Leeds. He's played for Barcelona. He's going to play in the same position, off the right-hand side, left-footed. I'd like to think as well that if he came in, he might need it, but I'd hope that he wouldn't need that 1 year free pass because he's kind of had the best sort of lead up to Manchester City, Bielsa ball, and then Barcelona. There's not really much better. Sort of graduation.
Like a path, yeah. Pathway to go. Yeah, you'd like to think that he'd be ready, set to start slamming. It's just a weird one. It's just, I feel like you said it perfectly at the start, bro, is that it doesn't feel like we're going to sign a winger that everyone's going to get gassed at. It feels like we're just going to sign a winger that everyone's going to go, oh, okay. Because it's hard to look at talent drain, isn't it? It's hard to look at where we're going to sign wingers that people are going to get gassed at. The only person I could probably say about that people would get gassed about is probably Leroy Sané. I'm not sure who else, realistically. So us being interested in Raphinha, I think is good signs because we're hearing that we are interested in someone straight away. And that do you know what I mean? Like you said the other day about the links. We've already got a link there to Raphinha. I guess it all just depends on how City feel that he'd do at the club, and if we lose Mahrez, I guess it fits the spot.
It does, and that sort of leads on to this question here from Italian Stallion. It says, if you had to choose between Olmo or Raphinha, I'd take Raphinha. Olmo is Ferran Torres 2.0. Seen Barca fans say he's better defensively than Mahrez. I'd take Raphinha over Olmo because I think he's more of a like-for-like replacement to Mahrez, and I think that. I don't know. Should we be looking for who says we should be looking for like-for-like replacement for Mahrez? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should look for something different in it. I don't know.
Pep
I don't think we need to look for a direct replacement. I also think we might need to slightly lower our expectations of replacements all the time. I mean, the reason we're not going to get gassed by 99% of these names thrown at us is because not most players aren't going to be able to offer what Riyad Mahrez did for so long and so consistently. They're really, really, really big boots to fill. I mean, you throw any name out there who's worth 60, 70, 80 million, they don't have the same stats as Riyad Mahrez over the last 3, 4, 5 years. They just don't. And that's bottom line because Mahrez has been one of the most consistent in terms of output wingers in world football for 3, 4, 5, 6 years now, including his Leicester time. So that's why it's hard for us to transition because it is kind of hard to maintain treble-winning standard players, year in, year out. The cycle's going to come to an end, and we're going to have to rebuild. Now, is the chances of us rebuilding another treble-winning standard team high? No, because it's so unachievable. It's not realistic. So I think if you're a football man, you'll understand that it's really hard to maintain that level of Bernardo's, Gundo's, Mahrez's all the time. That level of quality isn't always out there to keep bringing in. And the fact that there's a drought in so many of these positions right now means we're competing with other clubs to try and get these players. So it's kind of hard, man. It's a hard market.
I've got because obviously Raphinha's an interesting one. Obviously, he was at Leeds. My mate Joe, who's got the Just Joe YouTube channel, he's a big Leeds fan. One of the contributors on there, Andrea, is a Leeds fan, and I asked him to give us like a 90-second take on Raphinha, give us his thoughts and maybe how he might see him playing at City. So check this video out.
I've seen that Raphinha is in the league with Man City, and of course, as Leeds fans, we have a great opinion of him because 2 seasons ago, when after the SO was sacked in March, thing was storming, so Raphinha basically said was by himself. He was instrumental in a lot of games, especially the final one against Brentford. So basically, he plays on the wing. He's very one-on-one player. Can also do a lot of central courts.
I just ended it because people were saying it was too quiet in it, so I'll get a different one and show you a different one at some point. But yeah, Leeds basically. I've watched the video, so you can't hear him because it's too quiet. He's saying that he's very influential in that Leeds team, and very good player, and he thinks he's going to do well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Big up to who's this with a super chat? Massam says, "Have we signed anyone yet, lads? I need it. We need it. It's like Kovacic, bro. Up your eyes,
yeah, you know what I mean? What's up being spoilt, man? You got to sign in.
When we get someone, you'll see LB with his white flare outside the shed. I told you this already.
And City Bias TV with a donation says Kingsley Coleman thought, I like Coleman, but I don't see it happening. Just personally.
I love Coleman, but it's not happening.
Yeah, Coleman just. I feel like that's just one of the ones that Bayern a bit unwilling to sell.
Yeah, I think so. But listen, I think if Raphinha happens, depends on the fee, of course. I think City go to like maybe 60 million. And is that a good price?
No, that's that. Is it? Good? I don't know. I don't think Barca accept less than 60 million because I think they want the money back. But then I don't think City are going to value Raphinha at 60 million.
I think in today's market, 60 million euro, about 50 odd million pounds, it's probably fair. It's probably fair for a player who has Premier League experience, and he did cook in the Premier League. He was the shining star himself, Phillips, and 1 or 2 others of that Leeds team. And then you're going to bring him back, and it's also, as I always say, a Manchester City price. They're going to, try and bleed us for a bit more than they would for other clubs. So I'm here for it. I always say with any players that we're going to bring in, I like to think that Pep can get another 20-25% out of them. So Pep can make Raphinha even better, put him beside Haaland. You don't know what the link-up could be like. De Bruyne beside Raphinha, better service, better players around him. There's definitely, he's already shown it in the Premier League. Throw him in the best Premier League team. Why not, man? I'll get behind it.
Yeah, I can get behind it. Is the way is a good way to put my stance on it. My concern lies with why didn't it go well at Barca? Like what's the situation there? What happened, man?
I believe Barca's the problem, man. There was a 5 to 8 year period there where most players going to Barcelona were not having a good time. You look at your Coutinho's, Aubameyangs, Adama Traore's, Raphinha's, Eric Garcia's, Ferran Torres. I could reel off a whole list of them. Anybody going to that club because of the problems right up to the very top of the board and the infrastructure of Barcelona, it was not a good place. It was not the Barcelona that we know from 2002 up to 2013-14. So I wouldn't purely say it's Raphinha's fault it didn't work at Barcelona.
But he has been there a year and they won the league.
Exactly. But people are looking at his stats and his contributions. I know the super chat said, what was it, 7 goals in 45 games, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, he did play 36 matches. I know he obviously didn't play 90 minutes on a lot of those, but he played 36 matches in the league out of 38. He got 7 goals and 7 assists. So it's 14 G&A in 2,000 minutes. That's, if you want me to do the calculation, I can do the calculation because that is 2,083. It's a goal or an assist every 148 minutes. It's not that bad for a winger. That is pretty good.
They're not a great Barca team either. They're not a great. I know they won the Liga, but I tell you now for a fact, I watched them in the league. I watched them against Man United in that tie as well. They did not blow me away. They did not blow me away whatsoever. So it's not as if he was surrounded by unreal talent. So
A few
the
people
argument,
in the chat as well saying about Dembele. Dembele starts above Raphinha anyway, so like it's hard for him to get in the team.
Yeah. And also Dembele, because Dembele, funny enough, is a name that people have actually mentioned, and we've not been linked with him yet. I'm sure we will be at some point. But if you look at this season for Dembele, let me get his stats up here. He played in the league. Wait a sec, have I got? Why does that say? Wow, La Liga changes its badge. That threw me off. Dembele played even less minutes. It says here he played 1,400 minutes, so he played 600 minutes less than Raphinha, and got 5 goals, 7 assists. So we got the same amount of assists and 2 less goals in 600 less minutes. So maybe we should go for Dembele. I don't know.
But if they're favouring Dembele though, then surely that they'd be open to selling them Raphinha. And plus, they always 40 mil for Torres. Why don't they just give them? We say, oh yeah, we'll give you 20 mil, and then call the Ferran Torres cash. Quits.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna do that though, innit?
I've seen this one actually. Quite a lot of people have suggested this. Swap Cancelo with Raphinha because Saudi don't want to buy Cancelo. He was one of the best fullbacks 6 months ago, but his attitude ruined his career. Yeah, I mean, can we do some sort of deal there with Barcelona, Cancelo, for Raphinha? Whether that could be a straight swap, whether we'll need to give them cash, I don't know how that will work. I don't know what these players' values are. To be honest with you, evaluations of these players is mad. But yeah, potentially, who knows what's going to happen with Cancelo? But yeah, you could quite easily, and we believe that Barcelona were in for Cancelo in January. So if they're still in for him now, then maybe that could be something that could happen. Especially, if they're open to selling Raphinha, because who knows, they might not. We don't even know really if they're open to selling Raphinha. Let me bring up the I'll bring up the information and show you who it came from. Here it is. Let me show you this on screen. So this is where it came from. This is where this stream has come from. Raphinha is one name Manchester City have checked to replace Riyad Mahrez. Pep Guardiola likes the profile of the Barcelona forward, and first contacts have been made between City's Tiki and Barca director Deco. So who knows?
First contacts being made shows that City are interested in like proper. City are looking at that as a proper out. It's not just one of these like, oh yeah, we're keeping an eye on him. It's like, yeah, we're actually looking into the feasibility of signing this player.
Yeah,
it's an inquiry. Yeah. It's an inquiry.
Yeah.
They're probably doing that with a lot of players. I think there's probably like 5 or 6 players that are on this list, and I reckon like City are now going to be just, ringing up, like get in contact with the directors and just say, look, is this player attainable? Yes or no? Roughly, what kind of price are you expecting? And then just like doing the sort of negotiations and just seeing who is available at what prices and then deciding. Because remember, kind of weird, we still have Bernardo Silva at this moment in time, and you still have Phil Foden. So, and this is why, it always sort of comes back to Bernardo Silva. Who do you sign? Do you sign a slammer, someone who's going to start? But what about if you want Phil Foden to start right wing? What about if you want Bernardo Silva to start right wing? You're going to have to sign a backup. So I still think that City are in a bit of an awkward position here because they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to sign a starter. They don't know whether to sign someone who is more sort of rotational. Because until we know what's happened with Bernardo Silva, you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I've seen a few things on Twitter saying that in the next couple of days, I think things are about. Well, people are saying that things are going to kick off the next few days with all the players are about to leave. Obviously, it's only rumors, isn't it? But you'd like to think that we're going to hear sooner or later. We're going to see what squad goes out to this preseason and who's left behind.
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's defo because you look at Walker. I don't know what fee it's going to go for. It's not going to be mega cash. And so, therefore, the negotiation on that should be quite straightforward. Riyad Mahrez, City want 30 million quid, apparently, which is too low, in my opinion. If Saudi have any brains about them, they'll snap City's hands off that because that is too cheap. So that's 2 players gone straight away. So we could quite easily see Riyad Mahrez and Walker gone by the end of this week, 100%.
Yeah,
because not difficult deals.
They're all agreeing personal terms and the contract. They're all getting that side of stuff done. So it is. So basically, by the time it comes to the club, it's just agreeing a fee and then seeing a bit. Just like Gvardiol, really, isn't it? We've agreed personal terms and contract details with him. just about getting
Walker-
that fee, and once the fee's there, done.
Kyle Walker's he's on the plane, or he's going on the plane apparently to Japan. No one knows about the whereabouts of Riyad Mahrez, because like I don't know what's going on with the training photos and that kind of thing. Has anybody seen anything of the squad or the players? Anything? It's so weird.
There was actually some photos released before. It wasn't of training. It was of them just out in town. De Bruyne's there, Ake was there, Akanji was there. So
I seen that.
There was a couple of them, but yeah, obviously they all return at slightly different times. But aren't Bayern Munich in? Because we play Bayern Munich, don't we?
We play them next week, so maybe that's why Walker's coming with us.
Maybe that's why Walker's going to play, because why Walker's coming, because he's going to be with Bayern Munich anyway. He'll probably do the medical out there somewhere. So I don't really think it's a major issue, to be honest.
How grim would it be if he just comes out with us, plays against whoever it is this week, Yokohama or whoever it is this weekend, and then ends up signing, then plays against us not next Wednesday. If Kyle Walker plays against us next Wednesday, that would be grim.
Or does like a first half Manchester City, second half Bayern Munich. Absolutely.
He's got a half and half scarf on.
Do not be doing that. That is ridiculous. Let's have a look at some of these. Let's have a look at some of these chats. Big up David Hartley, man, with a 31 months. Raphinha really doesn't exactly scream ambition after winning a treble. Very mid. Villa Spurs is level, in my opinion. I trust Pep's judgment, though, I guess. That's from David. But then he's been outdone by a 32-month member. Spencer says many options with the math. They overran money. Swap Cancelo. Don't need to be 60 million straight up. He also wouldn't expect to be a number one right wing. I like it. That's very true, actually. He's only played 2,000 minutes for Barcelona in the league. So he wouldn't come in and... Well, you wouldn't think he's going to come in and start demanding to play every single game, because he doesn't at Barca.
Yeah, you'd think that he'd allow the rotation, and he'd probably prefer he might even get more game time at City, even with rotation.
Yeah.
With the amount of competitions that we're in.
We've so much football to play, man. I think anybody that signs for City, they're not coming in, unless you're maybe Erling Haaland, with the expectation of being nailed on one of the first names in the team sheet every week, because Pep rotates so often depending on who we're playing against. So that's one of the perks, man. That's one of the perks coming to Manchester City. There's no when you're on FIFA and you're negotiating to sign a player on career mode, and you have to tell them their importance to the squad, whether it's very important or critical. None of that happens at City. It's just you're signing for us, and you'll see what happens. Look at Akanji, man. He came in thinking he was 5th, 6th choice. All of a sudden, he's one of the most played players in the squad for the season.
Yeah. No, 100%. Big up John says reports are saying Kev's the new captain. Yeah, we'll probably do a video or stream on that. But yeah, I think it will probably be Kev, but we will probably touch on that in a separate stream, bro. Thanks for the super chat. Big up John says great show, boys. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, John. And Haaland really going in, man. Says, guys, we should sign Salah. Liverpool has no Champions League next season. We should go all in for Salah. As I'm a fan, he will be a superstar at City. Thoughts on Salah? Well, he's a superstar at Liverpool, bro. Me and Hugh check these stats out. We don't need
Salah. We already have Bernardo, who's a better player.
You fell into that trap yourself there, innit?
Love it. But yeah, I mean, just to sort of finish up on this then, guys, if you've not seen the news, Manchester City are potentially looking at Raphinha. I will take it with a pinch of salt, though, because every single day now we're going to be getting news on a winger, but it's good to talk about them because we can sort of vibe and gauge what people are thinking about the play. We had Danny Olmo yesterday. If you've not watched that one, go watch that one. After this, we've got this Raphinha one. Manchester City have apparently made contact with Raphinha. So,
I mean, two kind of wingers in 2 days. I mean, I think we should be expecting a few more names to get thrown about. I don't see this being the last name that we see. Which is good for us because it means a lot more content.
It also works in City's favour as well, casting their net very wide, because if City double down and dial in on one player specifically, there's more of a chance they'll get roasted financially and in terms of the figure. But if City decide he's actually the player we really want, but we're telling everybody else that we have a load of players we're looking at, you can negotiate and be like, listen, you don't want to give us a decent price, we're happy to go elsewhere. There's tactics, there's strategies to the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we're going to put a good position here. And let's just see what happens. Let's see if Tiki can pull out a rabbit from the hat. We'll see, innit? You know what I mean? I think Raphinha, I think I'd take it. I think I'd be happy with him.
I'd take it. I'd take it.
Once you get your head over the fact that we're not going to be getting like a Vinicius type player, like a Bombazzo type player, then you start to get a little bit more gassed at the likes of Raphinha. You're never going to be like absolutely buzzing and rushing down to the club shop to get his name on the back of your shirt, but you'll get a little bit more gassed if you accept that we're not going to be getting like a Vinicius or even a Sane. We ain't getting no one like that, man. It's not.
If we get linked with a Vinicius, I will stream 3-4 times a day. I will, every title, every thumbnail you can think of. Vinicius saga there would just be unbelievable. I would love that. That'd be so much fun.
I mean, there was some Valverde rumors, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. We could probably do that tomorrow. Yeah, Valverde is. We spoke about this a bit yesterday, though. Me and Hugh. I think that's more, in my opinion. I think that's more of a Bernardo replacement than a Mahrez replacement. But hey, Bernardo could be gone as well at this point. Yeah, there's an evacuation. There's this. This is happening at Manchester City, bro.
Yeah, everyone's dipping.
There's just a siren at Manchester City going off now, and every single player is just leaving the football club. Big up Alexander says, big up 10 months nearly at a year. Transfer news went dead, but good to see something could be coming. Thanks for the stream, lads. Big up Alexander for the 10 months. Appreciate that. Yeah, we will wrap up. If you want something else to watch, though, we've got the Danny Olmo video stream that we did yesterday. Me and Hugh had our say on the Bernardo versus Salah weird debate that's going around on social media at the moment. So you could go check that one out. But we'll probably do another stream later on tonight, man. So, yeah, let us know what you think in the comment section below if you're watching on replay. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring today's stream. Go check out the details. Links in the description and pinned comment. You guys can get an extra 10% off with code CityXtra. Available worldwide, guys. They're a global company. Go check it out. You help support the channel and get yourself some new clothes. So big up, everyone. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.